Very fortunate and very lucky to have like just met someone like that completely randomly. We're from Brisbane, Australia.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So what kind of image did you have of Japan before you come?
The image of Japan that we had is pretty similar to what we've encountered so far, which is a very kind and generous group of people, and just very picturesque and beautiful nation.
Yeah, very clean, very busy depending on where you go, but also gorgeous countryside. And so this is our first time coming, so our picture of Japan was probably shaped quite a lot by, you know, what you see online, which is, you know, quite filtered, I think, but yeah.
And was your expectations exceeded?
Yeah, actually, I would say.
Definitely say expectations exceeded.
Yeah, especially with how nice everyone has been, like the level of just politeness and, you know, generosity and kindness that people display here has been
beautiful,
wild.
really. Yeah.
What was the most memorable moment when you first arrived in Japan?
A couple of days after we arrived in Hakone, we went to a very small coffee shop and just like randomly came across it. And this really beautiful man in the middle of these mountains, in the middle of nowhere, gave us this incredible feast of treats.
Yeah.
His name is Aki. He was so beautiful and very, very friendly, and all of everything he had was just about wanting to give back to people and just be really kind, and it was just a really gorgeous time.
Yeah, we literally stopped in just to get some coffee while we continued on to where we were going, and we were like, all right, we'll also pick up this little sweet tray, and it was like 1,100 yen, so we thought, oh, very cheap, might just be like, you know, a couple of sweets and a coffee, and no, he handcrafted like 30 individual, completely different flavors. He made some absolutely fantastic coffee. And then, his little coffee shop was just wall-to-wall notes that people had left him, just thanking him for his kindness and his generosity, and had a wonderful chat with him as well through a translation app.
How did you feel at that moment?
Very fortunate and very lucky to have like just met someone like that completely randomly. Like, it's not when you see like an Instagram influencer or something, you know, post a video being like, here's the best spot to get a crepe or whatever. It was just very, very genuine and real and off the beaten path. And it was,
really lovely.
Yeah, really lovely.
Yeah, that's so sweet. Yeah. So was there anything that surprised you or felt a bit strange?
In terms of surprising us, I think when we first got here, the first thing that you noticed,
it's just how Japan's very foggy. I wasn't expecting that. Like, our first couple of days, we were at what was the
Enoshima?
Yeah, the Enoshima candle, which is like an observation deck out on the coast, and like we couldn't see very far. And in my mind, Japan being like an island nation would have lots of sea breeze, you know, the air would be very, very clear. And when we got here and found how foggy it was because of the mountains, as it turns out, takes the sea breeze. It's all full of humidity and just makes it so like also the fact that you kind of knew it was going to be the case, but the fact that all the public toilets are heated, like even in the train stations, you just don't get that quality in Australia. Like, I thought they would just be good toilets. I didn't realize they would still be just the premium standard toilets. I was like, wow.
And also, how has your impression of Japan changed from before to now?
It's grown. We're still here and we're already planning our next trip. So we're like, well, we've got to come back. We missed this. We've got to come back. So.
Yeah, we've already started the collection of Google Maps pins ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
We knew we would love it, and it turns out we do. So it's like, oh, good.
It's been really good.
It's been so nice, and also probably taught us spend a bit more time in places like Toyama. A bit out of Kyoto, out of Tokyo, because that was, the small towns and cities are gorgeous as well, and it's very busy here.
Yeah.
Which one do you prefer, like the Japanese countryside or city side?
Oh, they both have their pros and cons, I think.
Yeah.
But
I love the fact that in the city I can get everywhere. There's so much to do and there's so much to see. But there's a lot of people, and it gets a bit hectic. The countryside, it's a lot harder to get around, so we had to rent a car for the 4 or 5 days we were doing that. But it was also the picturesque scenery, and you felt a lot more valued when you went somewhere. I think, like, you know, the locals always asked where you were from and what you had, you know, what you were here for and things like that. And that's like, that felt a lot nicer, I think.
A lot of mum and pop sort of shops as well too, so it felt nice to help them out. So yeah.
So like as you told me, like if you come again to Japan, you will visit the countryside, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd been recommended it by a few people who had lived here for a while and to really go to the countryside, and I'm very glad that we did. So
I hope you enjoy the countryside too.
yeah. Thanks
We
so
will.
much. In film and TV, I do prosthetic makeup. Look old or making them look like aliens or
エイリアンとか作るの
yeah.
すごい
Yeah. I worked on Furiosa, so here are some fake bodies.
すげえ
これでやってよって言われて。
すげえちょっとあの人本当に腕ないの
Yeah, so
He's asking like, is she really don't have?
she has.
Oh.
That's her arm,
そうそうそうそう
and that's a fake one. Put this her real arm gets put in a green glove, so they green screen it out.
らしいです。
すごいね
すごいですね。
Great